CNN every year, they do their New Year's Eve special, where you get these annoying elites get absolutely hammered together, and then they go out there and make fools of themselves. You know, I think that they think people are laughing along with them, and maybe some percentage are, but really we're more laughing at them. They're incredibly out of touch. There was a thing that went viral of like Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen, is that his name? Where they were like ripping de Blasio, or Andy Cohen was at least, and it's like, I don't like Bill de Blasio either, but there was no substance in Andy Cohen ripping de Blasio. It was just like incredibly vague and pointless with the specifics of his criticism. And you got Don Lemon, who was drunk and talking about dicks. I saw some headline like that on Mediaite. This is what goes on. Well, turns out some very astute Twitter users decided to get in on the fun, and CNN was trolled to perfection. Take a look at this. So Brian Breaker says the following: shout out to the CNN producers who highlighted tweets from Mike Oxlong, Boner, and Bend Over tonight. You are the real heroes. And then you can see at the bottom there, Mike Oxlong, for those of you who are slow. My Coxlong is what that's supposed to say. Bend Over, that one's obvious. Bonaire is boner, of course. But there was actually more. Hold on. I actually made the list. Oh, I love these. Dixie Normus. So it's D-I-X-I-E space N-O-R-M-U-S. And if you read it fast, Dixenormous. Dixenormous. Dixie Normus, Dix Enormous. Forgive me for those of you who aren't slow. I'm spelling it out for the slow people, including myself. Harry Cox. Like I said, Mike Oxlong. Seymour Butts, that's a classic. Bend Over was a classic. This one is phenomenal. And I never heard this one before. Anita Dump. Anita space dump. Anita Dump. I need a dump. Absolutely brilliant. So, somebody made a great point about this. This is supposed to be the number one name in news. Now, I get it. It's New Year's Eve. It's supposed to be a fun night and all that stuff. But what does this say about their vetting process? About the producers? What does it say? And by the way, I think the accounts were like mass banned as soon as people realized what happened. So, but what does this say about the people who make the decision to put these things up on screen, to put these tweets up on screen? Look, either they're in on the joke and they're having fun too, and they secretly like dislike CNN. That's very possible. Or they're like they are in every other respect, where it's just they're not actually good at news and information. And the other thing is, look, maybe this is unfair, you guys tell me, but if these are the tweets that they picked out among however many tweets they were getting, it actually tells me, hey, maybe there weren't that many tweets rolling in. And maybe there weren't that many people watching CNN, or at the very least watching CNN who are actually engaged with what's happening on screen. To which I say, of course. Because really, I mean, they're force-fed to everybody, guys. That's the whole point of mainstream media. Where do you normally see CNN on TV or MSNBC? It's like if you're at the barber, or you're at, an airport, or you're somewhere where nobody's watching the screen. And so it's just kind of background noise. People haven't built these deep connections with these CNN hosts. They don't seek out the opinion of the likes of Wolf Blitzer. He just sort of exists and says really boring things and is force-fed to everybody. It's the point I've made a million times. If you had the old algorithm on YouTube, the more meritocratic algorithm, and you put Wolf Blitzer on there in the news and politics category, how many people would have organically flocked to his channel? Would he have ever broken 10,000 subscribers? The answer is no. And I think everybody knows that. And so I think one of the reasons why these things made it on screen is because there weren't that many people who were actually tweeting and engaged with CNN on the New Year's Eve shit. Because who would do that? Who would, is that how you want to spend your New Year's Eve? Watching some elite goons say things that are totally not relatable? So you had people trolling them. And I think that's glorious. And credit to these people. I think it's very creative. I like the creativity that was involved with this. Anita Dump, Bend Over, Dixie Normus, Harry Cox, Hugh Jass. Did I tell you Hugh Jass won? Hugh Jass is hilarious too. Hugh, H-U-G-H, space J-A-S-S. Hugh Jass. Come on, man. Mike Oxlong and Seymour Butts. I've often used this phrase before, but this time I think it's being used in the most proper context. This is CNN being trolled to perfection. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.